Once again, brave King Bikram walked up to the banyan tree, got the corpse, and slung it on his shoulder. On the way, Betal said, "You are a brave and determined man, King Bikram. Now, to pass our time, I'll tell you a story, but you must not speak at all. If you speak, I'll fly back to my home tree. Now, here is the story. Once, the prosperous kingdom of Vijaypuri was ruled by a brave, kind, and dutiful king named Shivsen. His queen was called Indravati. Many years went by, but the couple did not have any child. After a lot of rites and rituals, Queen Indravati gave birth to a beautiful daughter. She was named Suryamukhi. Great care and attention was paid to Suryamukhi. She was brought up lovingly. Great scholars, warriors, and artists were employed to train her in all aspects of life. Though Suryamukhi was good student at studies, but she was inclined towards the classes where she learnt warfare techniques. She proved to be a good horsewoman and could handle all weapons and showed exceptional skill in using sword. Thus, the best teacher in swordsmanship was employed to help the princess to polish her skills. Years went by and soon Suryamukhi grew into a beautiful maiden. She was now 18 years of age and Queen Indravati was keen on getting her married. When she expressed her thoughts to King Shivsen, he said, "I understand what you feel, but I wish to teach the royal duties to my dear daughter Suryamukhi. I want to make her the ruler of Vijaypuri. I am sure she can be a good ruler for our kingdom. She has all the qualities required for this. I have no regrets that I have no son. For me, my daughter is no less than a son. As for marriage, she can marry a few years from now." Princess Suryamukhi also liked the idea which her father had. So on an auspicious day, after certain rituals, the coronation was done and Suryamukhi was crowned as the ruler of Vijaypuri. Under her reign, incidents of thefts and looting ceased. The unemployed men got jobs in the royal army and the lazy people were taught the lessons which made them get to work. Help and encouragement from Suryamukhi led to prosperity in agriculture and small industries. Thus, Vijaypuri prospered and King Shivsen's heart was filled with pride. 2 years went by and Queen Indravati again talked to her husband and daughter about her daughter's marriage. This time King Shivsen agreed and so did Suryamukhi. But Suryamukhi said, "Father, please have it announced that I will marry the man who will defeat me in a duel using swords. Only such a man who would be my life partner." Such an announcement was made and kings and princes from any neighboring kingdoms came to Vijaypuri. Many common men also came to win Suryamukhi's hand in marriage. Then began the duels. Suryamukhi would challenge one suitor for a duel each day. Weeks went by but no one could defeat Suryamukhi. The brave prince of Krantipur, Jayant, also heard about the challenge. He dressed up as a common young man and went to the arena in Vijaypuri. For a few days, he watched Suryamukhi's tactics during the duel. Every day, Suryamukhi would win the duel and Jayant would applaud loudly. This had made her notice Jayant. Then Jayant went back to Krantipur and practiced well so that he could defeat Suryamukhi. Then one day he dressed up as the prince of Krantipur and went for the duel with Suryamukhi. Suryamukhi recognized him instantly. Having known all her tactics, Jayant was able to defeat Suryamukhi. Then King Shivsen said, "So dear, you have been defeated at last. Are you ready for marriage now?" To this, Suryamukhi replied, "No, father, I will not and cannot marry Prince Jayant of Krantipur." "But why?" Prince Jayant asked in surprise. "I have completed the challenge you had set." "Marrying you will be against the law and you know well the reason for it," said Suryamukhi. Prince Jayant bowed his head and grew thoughtful. Then he bowed once again with respect to Suryamukhi. "You are correct. I pay my respect to all. You are correct. I pay my respects to you and take my leave." Suryamukhi said, "Prince Jayant, I wish you more success in the field of swordsmanship. You may leave now." Without any words of protest, Prince Jayant left Vijaypuri. After completing the story, Betal asked King Bikram, "O great King Bikram, Tell me, wasn't it unfair of Suryamukhi to reject Prince Jayant even after being defeated by him? Why did Prince Jayant pay his respects to someone who had rejected him? What made Suryamukhi wish him good after Prince Jayant had won? Don't you think it was odd that Prince Jayant accepted all without a protest? Answer these questions of me, but remember, I know it well that you know the right answer to my questions. If you will give the right answer to my questions, I will fly back to my banyan tree. But if you will give me wrong answer even after knowing the correct one, your head will burst into thousand pieces. At this, King Bikram thought for a few minutes and said, "O Betal, Suryamukhi was not unfair to Prince Jayant. Prince Jayant had observed all the Suryamukhi's tactics and learned from it. In this way, indirectly, Suryamukhi had become Jayant's teacher and he had realized this. That is why when she rejected him, he did not protest at all. Suryamukhi clearly knew that marriage between teacher and pupil is against the law. Jayant also understood this and thus paid respects to her as a pupil does to a teacher. In returns, Suryamukhi blessed Jayant with luck as a teacher does. So there was no reason for Jayant to feel bad at all. King Bikram, your answer reflects your deep understanding and law and dutifulness. I am much impressed, but alas, you have spoken and broken your promise. So here I go back where I came from." With these words, Betal flew back to the banyan tree. He went and hung on the thick branch just the way King Bikram had found him before.